Hey everyone, Arashi here, back again with another upload, and I know it's been a very long time, so, long time no see essentially. I mean, it's been about two or 3 weeks since I last did an upload, but anyway, we have some more news coming out, and although this is about the MCU, I want to talk about it because it also pertains to Star Wars as well. I mean, at Disney, they're pretty much two in the same. Whenever anything with MCU is mentioned, they talk about Star Wars. Whenever anything with Star Wars is mentioned, they mention the MCU. So anyway, let's get into this article. And to preface about where I've been for a little bit, I actually got married. A lot of stuff's been going on. And then immediately after we went from getting married, I immediately went on a honeymoon. I mean, that very next night, I was in a hotel getting ready for my flight to leave that next morning. So on top of that, with moving into my new place, and on top of that, moving in with my now wife, it's just been a lot of stuff going on. We moved and we got married in the same week. So anyway, let me get into this video, and first video of 2024 essentially right now. So this is a article from Polygon, actually, about She-Hulk and what's going on with that over there. So this is actually an article with excerpts from the main actress. I believe her name is Tatiana Maslany. I don't want to butcher her name, but anyway, let's get into this article and let's read it. It says, Tatiana Maslany, the actor who played Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk, attorney at law, has dashed any hopes of a season 2 of Marvel's divisive Disney Plus show. I'm honestly kind of surprised that it was canceled personally, but I think this is a good direction going forward for Marvel and the MCU. At least this is actually a big win, because maybe after this, Disney decides to clean it up a little bit. But anyway, she says, I don't think so. Maslany replied, I think we blew our budget, and Disney was like, no thanks. And if I actually looked into the numbers for what She-Hulk had, and the total amount of money lost is around $225 million. I mean, that's about $25 million per episode. Guys, no wonder. Of course they're not going to bring that back, but you guys have to fathom just how much $25 million per episode is. And with that being said, I'm actually really glad that Star Wars doesn't have a budget like that right now, or at least they're not allocating money towards Star Wars like that, because I feel like they'd flub it up as well. I mean, She-Hulk, $25 million per episode, $225 million total in losses. I mean, come on. Just kind of goes to prove that throwing money at a situation doesn't necessarily help you in every single last situation. At the end of the day, although you threw a bunch of money at it, they're losing money entirely. And that also means and shows that the writers and directors that they keep hiring over here at Disney are just not the right people. And I don't know how many times you have to reiterate this, but I mean, we're going to have to probably teach them this lesson about 25,000 more times. And then maybe then they'll understand. I mean, personally, for both MCU and Star Wars, I still believe that there should be about a year break. I mean, no MCU content, no Star Wars content, no kind of any content coming from Disney. I mean, even their animation side of things like Pixar and all that stuff is gone downhill. So all that stuff needs to be about a year break. And Disney really evaluate, get everybody involved who actually want to work on these projects and want to tell a good story and not just be self-inserts, kind of like how they did with She-Hulk and a few other things out there that they've created recently. A lot of the directors are doing self-inserts. As an audience, we do not give a crap about that. We care about the characters, and we care about the franchises that we've grown to know and love, that you've bought over the years. We'd like to see those franchises be treated with respect and dignity like they deserve. But I also understand that, in the years of all this stuff, like what I'd say to do is just finish out what you're going to finish out right now. Finish it around like 2026 and then just fully reboot everything. I mean, MCU can be rebooted. Like, you just reboot phase 4 or reboot phase 5 or something. If which Star Wars just reboots 7, 8, and 9, at least those movies. But anyway, let me get back into reading this article and actually going over what's going on here before I go on another rant and tangent. So I just want to come out and state this fact too, that it's actually not official just yet. The head writer has, they left the final, I didn't watch the series itself, but it says here the final episode left the possibility open for a season 2. But Maslany said, but if Disney has decided against any further She-Hulk on TV, it wouldn't be a surprise in several ways. She-Hulk, attorney at law, was emblematic of the issues Disney has faced with its ambitious plan to extend its top-tier cinematic franchises, Marvel and Star Wars, into TV streaming series. As Maslany hinted, top of those is cost. Conceptually, She-Hulk was intentionally quite modest. I'm skipping here a little bit. Quite modest, a comedy that would gently spoof a staple TV genre, the legal drama, as well as involve some low to mid-tier superhero jinx and some fourth wall breaking meta comedy associated with the character in the comic. Now, see, that sounds good. I mean, just stick to the comics. I don't know why. See, this is what I'm saying. So this was said by Tatiana Maslany, where I always say that I don't blame Daisy Ridley for the way Rey came out. these actors know what they're getting themselves into. I mean, a few of them know what they're getting into and they refuse to care, you know, some like Brie Larson, but it seems like Tatiana Maslany actually, I don't know her past or anything like that, so correct me if I'm wrong on this, but it seems like she was ready to do whatever She-Hulk in the comics was ready to do, but she was just pretty much doing what the directors and leads told her to do. I mean, I remember reading something about Jenna Ortega not too long ago, why she's not doing Wednesday season 2 or whatever the heck's going on, because she wanted the character to remain as accurate as possible. And Jenna was subsequently canned for doing such things, you know, for actually standing out and having an opinion on some things and wanting a character of Wednesday to stay the same. So even most actors and actresses, as I've seen and gone over, have actually wanted that same thing, echoing the same sentiment as the fans do. But of course, when you're getting paid millions upon millions of dollars, all of us would do the exact same thing. We'll just shut our mouths and collect our checks and then move on with our lives. So I don't blame them for that. What I do blame is the leaders and directors. It sucks, man. It really does suck, but I also can't blame these actors and actresses for doing the exact same thing that I would do personally, and that would be collect the check and then move on with my life. And then also on top of that, you know, maybe after some time, build up my own repertoire, and then I can change some stuff. But anyway, I want to actually highlight this part of the article right here because I called it. Right here it says, shows in the space of the 3 years, Marvel is now leading into animation with the likes of this year's X-Men 97, Eyes of Wakanda, and it only has a few live action TV projects on its own slate. The status of this year's and many of these beyond are unclear, with Agatha, Darkness, or whatever. Now, let me tell you, nobody's going to watch that, Disney. No one's going to watch Agatha. I'm just saying it's a flop from the beginning it was announced. But that one part, oh my gosh, animation style, what did I say? I've been echoing that same sentiment for about a month now, maybe two, maybe a little bit longer. Since the end of 2023, I said the fans seem to resonate more with animation style, and that has become true, and Disney has taken notice of that. And as I said, it's not a hatred towards you live action fans. We actually understand where you're coming from, but I'm just saying animation just seems to speak volumes to people way more than live action nowadays. I mean, look at anime right now. What do you think anime is? Anime is ruling the West, it's ruling Japan, it's ruling the entire world right now. Animation is the way to go for right now for these TV format shows. That's just what needs to happen. Animation is the way to go, and Disney has recognized that, and I think that's a good thing, especially since MCU and Star Wars are so closely together in terms of, like, you know, the working at Disney, they always say MCU then Star Wars, MCU then Star Wars, MCU and Star Wars. There's always those two brought up. So maybe we'll get to see more Star Wars animated shows coming up soon. And as always, I'll be right here to report on it. And if it's bad, it's bad. And if it's good, then it's good. So anyway, that's all I got for this video. Leave your guys' thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. May the force be with you. It was great to be back, and have a great rest of your day.